So I started doing that and realized I totally screwed it up. So, um, so we start a new project in Shotcut. Make sure your destination is where you want it to be. I want to put it in actually tutorial 3 demo and hit open, and I want to call this tutorial 3 Shotcut and then hit start. So if we go to your script, don't worry about this first net sound break. Well, let's put our first sound bite in there. So it's we are in essence ambassadors. This is DF ambassadors. So we'll go to our Shotcut and open up our believe. So it's DF ambassadors. Open that up. And so his sound bite occurs about 20 seconds in. So we are in essence. So we are in essence. So we make sure that you have his, sorry, I need to, so we're going to start with this A roll, his sound bite. His in cue is we are in essence. His out cue is species of animal. This is his CG information. So this is the lower third. So this is where his name would pop up, and this is his title. So so that's what we'll want to do is we'll put our lower thirds in later. But this is the first part of his sound bite. So this is his in cue, and this is his out cue of the sound bite. Notice I don't put the entire transcribed sound bite in there. So I've already laid my in point and my out point. I hit I for my in, O for out point, and then I can put this onto my storyline. And what I want to do is I want to control my audio. So I want to hit control click so I can detach my audio. This is going to help me a little bit later. And now I want to add my first sound bite. My first voice track. And so what I've done is I actually recorded my voice track using QuickTime. And so you can use your phone, you can use any sort of audio recorder you have on your phone or on your computer. So I need to add that one in there. So my voiceovers I keep in the same place. So this is track 1. And I messed it up a couple times. I'm using my right arrow key on my computer to try to get the first part of sound. And then, so hit my I for in point, my O for out point. So this is my sound bite. I'm sorry, my voiceover. And then I'm going to append that to my storyline. Okay, so what we have so far is our A roll. We have our first sound bite. We have our first narration. So that's already in there. Now we go to our DS show team. So his in cue is we brought all this together. His out cue is only fine at SeaWorld. So I go to this DS show team and open file. By the way, all these are the sound bites in the beginning. These are all the sound bites. DS show team. And let's make sure we brought all of this together. We brought all this together. We brought all this together. We brought in a Broadway producer to help us establish what the overall content of the show would be. We brought in a set designer. We brought all this together. We also brought in Hallmark Corporation to help us with what the emotional content of the show would ultimately be. So this is his endpoint.
We brought all of this together, we mixed it all together, and we ultimately created a one-of-a-kind, unique experience that you can only find at SeaWorld.
Only find at SeaWorld is his out cue. Only find at SeaWorld. So notice that in the packages, short packages, your sound bites are going to be relatively short, about 8 to 12 seconds. Okay, so so even though his entire interview or this particular question is a little bit longer, we only take little bits and pieces of it. And that's what packages are meant to do. So I'm going to add his soundbite in there. And now I want to go to my next element. So I have my next soundbite, and then I have my next narration. So the same way, you will add your next voice track. Track 2. I think I just did this in one take. So add that to the storyline. And then we go to our next element. So I have my narration down, and then we have 2 more sound bites. So DS show concept. So go back to Shotcut. DS show concept.
The idea of belief.
I think is the idea of belief, and his is in cue, and his out cue is an animal itself.
The idea.
So go back a little bit.
The idea of believe was actually born from the whale itself.
I think this is a double out. The animal itself, the whale itself, and then he says the animal itself.
As you can see from the whale tail behind me, from the behaviors that are in the show, and even the music that was composed in the
The animal itself is the out cue. The animal itself is his out cue. So we'll add that one in there. And then our final soundbite is we took those ideas, and this is the head animal trainer. SA. Make sure it is team ideas. SA team ideas. SA team ideas. And then our package and our soundbite is we took those ideas in the believe show. We took those ideas as in cue and believe show as the out cue.
And the ideas generated by the believe team, we took those ideas back to the parks, talked about it with the in-house staff, and we put those sequences and those ideas into the emotional expressions that you'll see in the believe show.
So in the believe show is the out cue. So I'm going to set my out point. I didn't quite get the total in point.
The ideas generated by the believe team,
we took
those ideas.
Oops, didn't get into green.
Believe team.
So your end point.
We took those ideas.
We took those ideas. Okay, so this is what yours should look like as well. And then you append it to the current track. So now we have our A roll done. So after you finish your A roll, then you go back and B roll. Okay, so I have not specified here what you should be covering up. So this is one particular shot, but there's tons of video that you have to choose from that you can use to, let me see if I can pull it up. There's tons of video that you can use. All of these particular shots in here, all of them you can use to B-roll. Now, be careful because, and make sure you're not doing any sequence jump cuts. Try to vary your shots and try to piece it together so that you have maybe you are mimicking or kind of reinforcing what the voice tracks are saying. All right, so after you've B-rolled, then you go and after you do your B-roll, make sure you're cutting the B-roll so the best shot in each clip appears in the package. And make sure that your audio levels are consistent. So as you can see right here, I should probably bring those up a little bit. It's probably up a little bit higher, but that one's okay. And create lower thirds for each shot, and then you'll export it and then share the package on Canvas when you're done.